What's good? It's Moss 808, brought to you by the Esoteric Soji, bringing you the astrological weather report on the broader spectrum, you know what I'm saying, coming first and foremost at you as we are falling back on our natures, our ideals, our principles that helped us to ascend or make our loads lighter, things that we left behind as far as desires, because we are falling back into the death state as we get closer to this Capricorn season. So it's like falling downstairs, because we are in this 4D box dimension. So it's angles and points that are going to hit us in our anatomy, are going to hit our pressure points and trigger things within us as we are falling back on these things. And you know, you got to take a step back to look and get a bigger and broader understanding, which segues into our point. The moon is in Aquarius. We are associating ourselves and our ideas and our fixed thoughts on having a higher angle of looking down on the bigger picture. So the bigger picture appears to be smaller from our point of view. So we want to be mindful not to overthink our way out of the opportunity by being too far distant in the vastness of space and the emptiness, because the sun in Sagittarius is the opportunity for us to take our higher angles, anchor them, and to teach and to preach and to learn and to experience these things, and not be boggled down too much with the opinions of others. While we are bringing our own opinion, we are bouncing around, rubbing shoulders with these other ideas and entities as far as our passions and motivations go, because now we are going to have the higher angle to be passionate. You know what I'm saying? We can look above and sit high and look low and see where our passions and motivations are being attached to certain people, places, and things, and bring our ideals for humanity. And so when we are passionately in survival mode, root chakra, or going to war against certain teachers or certain experiences that taught us these things that we are unlearning, as we are doing the shadow work and falling back upon these things, we are being aware of what we're rubbing shoulders with, what to attach from, or to be more unique, to separate ourselves by default. Now we have the moon squaring the earth sign of Taurus in Jupiter, and Uranus, the depositor of Aquarius, being Uranus in Taurus. So it's passed over the conjunction with Jupiter. Our past experiences being in the slow, delayed, introspective of the things that we have and the value that we are adding esoterically and mentally to these forms that make them flourish or pop more, or either, you know what I'm saying, not being a distraction, getting too lost in the experiences, you know what I'm saying, overthinking and overanalyzing, not trying to Lilith in Virgo, which is in conjunction to Aquarius, but we'll get to that. And then moving on to the positive of Uranus, you know what I'm saying, this is learning what area of life to not so much try to bring the rebellion of having a higher thought and looking down on humanity, but we are being original and unique within our status, or the status of the things, you know what I'm saying, going from the cardinal to the fixed, upholding the spring equinox. This is the death equinox, you know what I'm saying, of that, the earth elements, I'm saying. So back to it all. You know what I'm saying? So this is originality on the things that you have, that you are experiencing, right, upon your stability, and make sure you have your shit together and you're not unstable before you go out and take care of these matters with others, you know what I'm saying, as far as looking down. As far as looking down and not trying to project your insecurities because you feel like you're being forced to go out and be unique and original with the things that you have, and you're stubborn to move, you know what I'm saying. But at the same time, this is Aquarius learning that lesson from Taurus, how it can be kind of stubborn that way, as far as what it has esoterically in mental forms or mental blocks or mental, you know what I'm saying, shapes and forms, as the planet is still shifting into a 5D consciousness, guiding the waters and the emotions. Now with the moon squaring the depths of the waters, Venus and Scorpio, things that we are compromising and appreciating about vulnerability, we don't want to be faking the funk and associating ourselves with deep emotions that we are not having, or trying to direct this fixed water and make it more about humanity-based things, because it's about power and control issues within the self, and relating that for strength and power control's sake itself, because it's Venus, you know what I'm saying? It's about sex, romance. So our urges and our desires might be put on the hush hush. Aquarius might come through trying to talk too much about these energies. So that's that square, that direct square of learning the masculine from the feminine, the thoughts from the deep waters, the depth, because although the fixed waters in the cube in the icicle shape is not directly the mental form, the box that Aquarius is looking into. Now, like I said, it is in conjunction Lilith and Virgo, the embarrassing moment. So it's misunderstanding how to see the embarrassing moment as itself being vulnerable versus Aquarius seeing the embarrassing moment as being embarrassed by trying to relate and make sense or look deep into the details of something coming from the solar plexus, or seeing it as being self-absorbed, right? And Lilith and Virgo is looking back at Aquarius as the moon and emotions, as in you're not looking or analyzing too much. You're trying to be unique, original, and guide these waters that are going nowhere except for your dreams, imaginations, and illusions that isn't connecting. So how are you not embarrassed? But Neptune and Pisces is at home. And that's next door neighbor sextile. So Aquarius kind of sees where it's coming from, but it's rubbing shoulders. So it's get in or get out, you know what I'm saying, real fast. Dip your toe in and see what it's hitting for, and then jump back out. And of course, we got Aquarius sextile and Aries and Chiron in the North Node. So with this is the opportunity, you know, to you're planting your seed. The moon just peaked into the waxing mode, so we're just shining light on how we're being unique and original individual as far as the mistakes and how we see our mistakes. You know what I'm saying? You could be detached from a wound and go in and, you know what I'm saying, being unique and being alienated from yourself. You might be in isolation from your wound, so you might not know how to transmute the wound into the positive manner that can set you on the spark for your spiritual path, right? But this is where that sextile with the mutable energy is coming into, but you're doing it for the initiating process. So it's like this sextile where you have the momentum of relating and rubbing shoulders with your principles and principalities, and where to teach and where to add some of this fixed current air and carry these things over into a new initiating, a new expression of a vision, a new way of presenting it, whether it's being on the projector screen or whether it is being on a CD, adding a few steps, you know what I'm saying, you direct it, or you're working with the cameras, or you're working with the film. And that's going to be the journey with that. And we have the moon right next door with the emotions, sextiling Mercury, the communication, analytics of using or being used in Capricorn in retrograde. So we are taking a step back but not too far, leaning into that energy, because it's going to go back from, you know what I'm saying, the tension is going to be released as we're going back into that sextile. It's gaining some space and momentum from this Capricorn energy, looking back, but you're still looking back to what you are upholding and what was being initiated. And you're seeing that Capricorn isn't much of an inverted sign. It's more of a use or be used, practical, grounding the foundation and the roots. Is going into the earth. It's not really going introverted into yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's really going further out and expanding out and down, depending on how you look at it on the roots. You know what I'm saying? The internal world, not internal emotions, the internal world, and carving its way through different roots and tangles, and working on understanding that, the depths. And that's what Aquarius is going to be looking at. The example of Big Bro Capricorn inverting on itself and gaining space and momentum. And it's more space and it's broader for the opportunity, widening for that window gate for us to jump through during this period in time, right? And that is all of the alignments with the astral energy and the transitions that are coming close and they're coming into play. And of course, you got Saturn and Pisces. Can't forget that. Like I said, it's rubbing next door neighbors, restriction, co-ruled by Saturn, restrictions and boundaries within our dreams and imaginations and illusions. And Pluto is in Capricorn too. I can't forget Pluto and Capricorn too is going there. So, you know what I'm saying, step back, reanalyzing your plans and ideas for it, taking power and control, or the dark side of, you know, grounding yourself in certain areas, certain restrictions, certain details. Lilith and Virgo being a little bit embarrassed that you're in a new space or a new ground, and you're still having to going against being unique and original, and doing your own thing, and connecting more and analyzing with others, and you know what I'm saying, experiencing partially with that square, experiencing partially about just letting it flow, and you gotta look at it while it's flowing. The pieces that are standing out, you can do with those what you will. So thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in. Chop it up. See you on the next one.